For this tutorial, I'll be using a red double knit yarn and a green double knit yarn for the cherries. You'll need a toy filling to stuff the cherries and a keyring. You can also use scrap yarn, and I'll be using a 3mm crochet hook. To make the cherries, I'll be using my red yarn, and I'll start off by making a magic circle. And you want to start off by chaining 2, so 1 and 2. For the cherries, we'll be working in half double crochets all the way around. So now I'll go into the magic circle and make my first half double crochet. For this round, you want to make a total of 10 half double crochets. So I've just made my second one, and then going back in for my third. And you want to carry on making half double crochets until you get up to 10. Feel free to pause the video now. Now that I've made my 10 half double crochets, I'm going to pull on that tail end to close the magic circle, and then I'm going to make 2 more half double crochets into the circle in the middle. So 1 and 2. And now I'm going to slip stitch into the first half double crochet of the round. To start off round 2, we're going to make 2 chains, so 1 and 2, and for this round you want to make 2 half double crochets into every stitch, so you'll have a total of 24 half double crochets by the end of this round. So I've just made my half double crochet, and now I'm going to go into that same stitch and make a second half double crochet, go into that next stitch, make another half double crochet, and then I'm going to go straight into that same stitch and make another half double crochet. So just like this, you want to keep making 2 half double crochets in each stitch. And you can feel free to pause the video now, and I'll see you at the end of the round. So I've just made my last half double crochet, and I'm going to slip stitch into the first half double crochet of the round, just like so. So that's our first 2 rounds complete. For round 3, we're going to chain 2, and we're going to make 1 half double crochet into each stitch all the way around. So I've made 1 half double crochet in the first, and 1 half double crochet in the second. You want to keep making 1 half double crochet into each stitch because we're no longer increasing. You should have 24 half double crochets by the end of this round, and you want to repeat this round for 5 rounds in total. So this is 1 out of 5 of just 1 half double crochet into every stitch. You can feel free to pause the video now, and I'll see you at the end of this round. So I'm just going to make my last half double crochet into the last stitch to finish off this round, and now I'm going to slip stitch into the first half double crochet of the round. So you want to start off the next round with a chain 2, and just like before, you want to make 1 half double crochet into every stitch. You want to repeat this for 4 rounds, including this one, for a total of 5 rounds of just 1 half double crochet into every stitch. Feel free to pause the video now, and I'll see you at the end of the 5 rounds. So I'm just on my 5th round of half double crochets, and I'm making my final one before slip stitching into the first half double crochet of the round. When you crochet, you will notice that your work starts to raise up a little bit, just like this. So to start the next round, you want to chain 2, insert your hook into the first stitch, yarn over and pull through, insert your hook into the second stitch and yarn over and pull through. Then yarn over and pull through all loops on your hook. Then again go into that next stitch and yarn over, pull through. Then again into that next stitch, yarn over and pull through. And then yarn over and pull through all the loops on your hook. So these are your decreasing stitches, and you want to repeat this method all the way around to decrease your stitches from 24 to 12 half double crochets. Feel free to pause the video now, and I'll see you at the end of the round. So I've just made my last decrease stitch, and I'm going to slip stitch into the top of the first decrease stitch of the round, just like so. And you can tell that the cherry shape has started to form. At this point, you want to get your scrap yarn or your toy filling, and you want to stuff the ball to make a cherry shape. I'm using my crochet hook to get the filling in the hole. So now you want to put your crochet hook back into that loop and chain 1. And for the final round, we'll be making half double crochets into each decrease stitch. So I've made my first half double crochet, and now I'm going to make my second half double crochet. And you want to continue to make one half double crochet into each stitch until the end of the round. You can feel free to pause the video now and I'll see you then. So I've just made my last half double crochet and I'm going to slip stitch into the first stitch of the round, just like so. And you can see that the hole in the middle has gotten noticeably smaller. Here I am just pressing onto the cherry to make sure it's a ball shape. And at this stage you can feel free to put in some more filling if you feel like you need some more. And now to close up the cherry, you can either use a tapestry needle and weave into each stitch to close it up, or you can make slip stitches into each stitch just like I'm doing here in this video to close the cherry. So as you can see here, I'm making a slip stitch into the opposite stitches, and I'm finding it a bit hard to pull the yarn through because the stitches are a bit tight. But you can see that I'm doing the same thing for the next set of stitches, and then I'm going to yarn over and pull through, and then pull through the loop of my hook to make a slip stitch. Now that I've made my final slip stitch, I'm going to cut the yarn and yarn over and pull through all the way and pull tightly on the tail end to make a knot. And then I'm just going to mess around with the cherry to make it form its ball shape. I normally like to make a double knot for security, but I didn't today, and as you can see me put my hook in through the cherry, yarn over and pull that yarn into the cherry to weave it in. I don't like to cut my tail ends close to the knot because there's the chance it will unravel, so I like to hide the tail end inside the cherry. And I'm going to use the other side of my crochet hook to kind of push that tail end into the cherry. And that's the ball of your cherry done. So you want to repeat this whole thing again to make your second ball for the cherries. And you can feel free to pause the video now until you've made that. And come back to the video to see how to make the stem and leaves. So to make the leaves / stem, you want to start off by making a slip knot. And then you want to insert your hook into the loop and make 16 chains. So I'm going to make my first one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 and 16. Then you're going to go and slip stitch into the first chain that you made. It's a bit difficult to get into, but you'll get there, just like this. And then you're going to want to chain 4. So now I'm chaining 4, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now I'm going to slip stitch into the second chain from my hook, just like so. And now you want to go ahead and chain 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. To make one side of the leaf, you want to make a single crochet into the second chain from the hook. Then in the next chain, you want to make one half double crochet. Into the next chain, you want to make one double crochet. Into the next chain, you want to make 2 double crochets. So 1, and back into that same chain and make your second double crochet. Into the next chain, you want to make 1 double crochet. Into the next chain, you want to make half a double crochet. Into the next chain, you want to make a single crochet. And into that final chain, you want to make a slip stitch. You then want to turn your work over and work backwards. So into that chain you made a single crochet, you want to go back into that same chain on the other side and make a single crochet. Go into the other side of the next chain and make a half double crochet. Go into that next chain and make a double crochet. Go into the next chain and make 2 double crochets into the same chain. So 1, and go back into that same chain and make your second double crochet. Go into that next chain and make a double crochet. Go into the next chain and make a half double crochet. And go into that final chain and make your single crochet. You then want to slip stitch into the top of that first single crochet you made. Just like so. Next you want to chain 1 and slip stitch into each of the stitch on one half of the leaf. So slip stitch into each stitch. All the way until you reach the bottom of the leaf. And again into that last stitch there. And then we'll slip stitch into the slip stitch we made at the end of the chain 4. To make the second leaf, we'll chain 9 again. And we'll repeat the same method as before, so make a single crochet in the second chain from the hook, a half double crochet into the next chain, a double crochet into the next chain, 2 double crochets into the next chain, so 1, and then go back into that chain and make your second double crochet, a double crochet into the next chain, a half double crochet into the next chain, a single crochet into the next chain, and a slip stitch into the next chain. And then turn your work over just like I have here, and then make a single crochet into the same stitch you made your last single crochet into, just on the other side, just like so. Then you'll half double crochet into the same chain as before. Then into the next one, make your double crochet. And then into the next one, make your 2 double crochets. So 1, and go back into that same stitch and make your second double crochet. A double crochet into the next chain. And then make a half double crochet into the next chain. And then make a single crochet into that final chain at the top. And then slip stitch into the top of that first single crochet you made of the leaf. And then chain 1. And then slip stitch into each chain until you get down back to the end of the leaf, towards the stem, just like so. Just like before, you want to slip stitch into that single crochet we made at the end of that chain 4 before making the leaves. It tends to fall behind the leaves, so it might be a bit hard to find, but I found it here and I've made my slip stitch. Now you want to chain 10. And now you want to grab your cherry, and we'll be attaching the stem to the part where we made the closure in the final round. So you want to put your hook through just like so into one of the half double crochets, yarn over and pull through both loops on your hook. And then you want to pull out the chain, make sure you've not slip stitched that into the cherry as well. And you want to make a slip stitch into that 10th chain that you just made. It might be a bit fiddly to get into depending on how tightly you crocheted your chains, but fear not, you'll get there. And you want to keep slip stitching into all 10 of the chains that you just made until you go back up the stem near the leaves. Feel free to pause the video now and come back once you've made your slip stitches into each of the 10 chains. So I'm making my last slip stitch into that chain, and we're going to repeat the process by chaining 10 again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. And just like before, you want to grab your second cherry ball and make a slip stitch into the same place as you did before into that final row of half double crochets, just like so, and tighten the stitch as much as you can. And just like before, we're going to make one single crochet into each of the chains that we had just made previously. And you can continue to make one slip stitch into each of the 10 chains until you get up to your final one. Feel free to pause the video now and I'll see you there. So I'm just making my final slip stitch into that last chain, and I'm going to turn the work over and then find that slip stitch we made before crocheting the leaves, and I'm going to make my last slip stitch into that. And now I'm going to slip stitch into the next chain 2 to reach up to that tail end that we have before. So I've just made my first slip stitch and my second slip stitch. And now we can go ahead and cut our yarn. We can then yarn over and pull through to make a knot, and we can tie the two tail ends together to make a more secure knot. I like to make a double knot to make sure everything is secure, and using the method of slip stitching back into the chains can make our chains a bit thicker and sturdier. So I'm just going to make my second knot. And now I'm going to use my scissors to cut off the tail ends. It's also good to use hot glue or fabric glue to glue down the knot. And before we finish, I'm going to attach this keyring to the pendant. And that's the cherry keychain all done. Look how cute it looks. Before I finish off the video, I'm just also going to use a little bit of super glue to glue down the knot. I'm using super glue because I can't find my hot glue gun at the moment, but I recommend using hot glue or fabric glue just because it's a bit safer. And just be careful when dealing with hot glue guns. Make sure you don't burn yourself and make sure you don't get super glue in yourself. And that's the cherry all done. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and I hope you found it helpful. I also hope you liked my creative way of getting this done in one go. And I hope your keychain is as cute as mine. Feel free to like, subscribe and leave a comment on how I should improve my videos or what I should make next. Thank you for watching. Bye!